Shalom, it's the Lemon Eddie back with another video. You saw the thumbnail, you also saw the title. African American couple moves to Ghana and goes broke. This video is brought to you, this video that I'm reacting to, I found on the Go Black to Africa channel. Therefore, I'll have him tagged in the description of today's video or maybe in the title, as well as linking to his video in the description. Make sure to like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Alright, now this video on the channel was called African American Tells the Truth About Ghana/Africa. Travelers Beware. Alright, now if you guys know who this lady is and you know her actual channel, let me know so that way I can try to tag her as well within this video.
Good morning, YouTube. I tried so hard to stay here in Africa, but I really think my time is up now. I've had enough. I cannot afford to live here. I feel broke and I feel poor in Africa.
Alright, now just starting off, she's coming on just with a fair amount of honesty. I believe that Go Black in the beginning of this video was talking about they're in Ghana. They've been in Ghana for a little bit, a couple weeks or so, and maybe a few months, who knows. But they've been in Ghana for a couple weeks at this point in time, and this woman is coming on and just telling her experience. But she starts off by saying, like, straight off the rip, that she feels broke, she feels poor while being in Africa. And this is absolutely incredible because I do believe some people buy into the hype that Africa is cheap, 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 but in reality, Africa can cost you a significant amount of money, especially in the very beginning. You know, especially in the very beginning, because you're having to spend a lot more money finding your place, putting that down payment on a place. You know, you haven't spent a lot of money, you're gonna get scammed a lot in the beginning. So you're overspending on those things. You're overspending on touristy activities, touristy restaurants, touristy places, and therefore, especially if this is the first time ever leaving America and going to a foreign country, you don't know the rules, regulations, and operations of such countries, and so you kind of fall into tourist traps more so than an experienced traveler would.
I feel like I'm gonna be out there selling some shit soon because this ain't making no sense.
Wait. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what she's talking about selling here, but the way she said it implies a couple of things, but I don't know. We'll continue the video.
I pay $130 a day to drive around in a truck. I pay $100 a day to live in a 2-bedroom and the 6 of us with no hot water, no stove.
Wow, all right, $100 a day. I mean, if my math is correct, $10 a day over the course of 30 days, around $300. So that means that's around $3,000 that she's spending a day for her property. And then she's spending another 3 and 3, so at least $3,300. Or maybe even $3,900 to drive around every day with a truck. I don't know what kind of truck she's driving around in that would charge her $130 a day, but that's quite pricey. And then she has 6 people with her as well, so that's a significant amount of money. But based on what she's saying, that if she's doing this every day, that's around $6,000 that she's spending a month already. So I'm not sure. Hopefully she'll explain more in the video, but this seems very expensive.
No refrigerator. The refrigerator broke. Then on top of that, I got lizards crawling in the bed with me. I live in America in a mansion, and we don't have to put no water on the stove. We got steady hot water, steady electricity, and the only time our electricity get cut off is when we don't pay the bill. And we got it so good now, we got prepaid electricity, so if we forget to pay the bill, we put some money on that prepaid thing, and they come right back on in 2 minutes. In less than 2 minutes. This shit right here, they come on for 14 hours yesterday.
Wow. Okay, so she's dealing with the power outages, which are things that occur when you're in sub-Saharan. A lot of times you will have power and sometimes water outages, and it does happen from time to time. With me being here in Egypt, we do have power outages. They normally last anywhere from 5 to maximum 30 minutes, and they occur, I would say, every other month, maybe every other month, and it'll be around once or twice a month, every other month. But it doesn't happen as often as it did in Tanzania, and when the power goes out, it comes back on relatively quickly. We will see if that continues out here, but I've been here for a year.
I can't deal. I love the people. Don't get me wrong, when I'm outside, I'm having fun. I love people, but when I come back to reality, when you come back home, home is where the heart is, right? When you come back home, you're supposed to feel comfortable, you're supposed to be happy. I'm not happy. Every house I look for, the house is expensive as hell. Oh my God. 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, $1 million.
Okay, wait. I'm thinking she's gonna say $200, $300, $400 a month, and then said $1 million. I guess she's looking at buying property. She may be looking at buying property. Property in Ghana is not Ghana. Property in Accra is very expensive for what I've been told and what I have heard. And that's one of the reasons why I was opposed to going to Accra. Or really just going to Ghana overall in general. Now again, if you have the satchel, in that type of situation, then that's fine. But if you're somebody like me who's not necessarily the most established person, who's doing their best to establish themselves and build a foundation currently, you can't go to a place like Ghana and expect to survive and sustain and to be positive and prosperous. You kind of already got to have a little bit of a financial backing behind you to make a place such as that. And that's why I do believe if you look at people who go to Ghana and sustain themselves there, they're usually a little bit upper in age, 40 years old. Around that time, you already have a substantial amount of income if you play the game right in the States. And so yeah, I think it's easier to make a play when you're a little bit more financially stable over in Ghana. But property is expensive, and even when you want to rent a property in Ghana, it's expensive as well because you're spending, usually have to pay 12 months ahead of time. So if you're thinking about getting a property, and that property is $1,000 a month, and you have to pay a year ahead of time, that's $12,000 that's immediately drained from your account. And again, that's like, wow, okay, that's crazy. And you don't even know if you want to live there for that long, but you have to pay a year.
To live in a house where you look outside and all you see is turkeys and ducks and chickens and sheep and old malnourished cows. I ain't even pay that much for my house in America. And everybody I talk to is saying the same thing. Oh, this house is $500. Oh, this house is $200. This house is $300. I'm like, I can't afford to live here. I cannot. I paid $100,000 for my house and a good ass community. But y'all, I'd rather go back to America and deal with the racism in America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bullshit bribery, the bullshit fraud, the bullshit scams, the bullshit too expensive.
Let me say this right here. Now this might be a long one, but look, one thing I want to say is that one thing I've noticed is when people go to an African country and they don't like that particular country, maybe even that particular city, they then decide to say like, there's no other options. I got to go back to the States. I notice this a lot with people who go to Tanzania as well. It's like, you can leave Tanzania, if you like to say it that way. You can leave Tanzania and just go to another African country. You don't have to go back to the States. And so even in the case with this lady here, it's like because Ghana is expensive doesn't mean everywhere else is expensive. If you went to the Gambia, I'm pretty sure property and things like that would be cheaper. If you went to South Africa, South Africa is probably more expensive. But if you go to other places in other countries, you could probably find land and housing and things like that for cheaper. And so it just depends on, the country that you're in. Senegal probably has cheaper properties and things like that. Nigeria, I heard, has some really cheap properties. But at the end of the day, you don't have to necessarily say because this country didn't work out for me, I have to go back to the States. You can always choose another country. My experience, I went to Tanzania. Tanzania didn't really work out for me. I do not like recommending people to live in Tanzania. I don't think it's smart to try to live in Tanzania. But I didn't say like, oh, I have to go move back to the States. You know what I mean? I decided to move to another African country in North Africa, which is Egypt. And I've been here now for a year, and I really, really enjoy it.
The bullshit not having no snacks, the bullshit not having no food, the bullshit electricity, the bullshit hot water, the bullshit, what's that shit called that be coming down? The bullshit animals, the scorpions.
Man, them in the back.
Big ass spiders, it's big ass lizards, colorful lizards you ain't never seen before, all in the fucking room with you, sleeping with you. All the bullshit people trying to scam you when you go outside thinking you rich.
This video is hilarious, man, on Gang Them. Look, alright, first and foremost, there is like, I think if you go to Africa, you're going to Africa for the African experience. I don't think people are moving to Africa to necessarily live the American experience. And if you are going there to live the American experience, it's going to be a lot more difficult and a lot less enjoyable. I think there's only a few countries on the continent of Africa where you can live the American experience in, and I don't think that those countries. And there are very few in the sub-Saharan. In the sub-Saharan, you can probably live the American experience from what I've seen in Kenya, Nigeria, in particular Lagos, and in South Africa. You can live the American experience in those three countries in the sub-Saharan. I think over in North Africa, I think definitely you can live in a more American experience here in Egypt, depending on the financial standing in which you're in. But there's only a few countries you can live the American experience in. Now, for the most part, if you go to Sub-Saharan Africa or just any African country in general, you're probably moving there for particular reasons. And so those particular reasons, if they're more spiritual in nature, you're looking to detox from America anyway. And so, you kind of got to expect certain things to occur. The lizards are very real. The spiders are definitely huge. I had a tarantula in my house one time in Tanzania. I had a porcupine in my yard. People who have all kind of animals coming in and out. Ferrets. People have all kind of animals coming in and out of their properties and houses and things like that when you're in the continent. But at the same time, for me, that was all enjoyable experiences because those are things that I did not get to witness and experience when I was in Los Angeles. I didn't get to see those type of things or experience those type of things. So for me, it was kind of a novel experience. It was kind of enjoyable. But again, it depends on, you should go to Africa with expectations that match your financial standings and your reasonings for going as well.
They trying to get more money off of you. I'm really trying to wrap my head around this shit. I'm really trying to wrap my head around how are Americans coming to Africa and being happy. Please comment down below. Because for me, I'm ready to go. And I always used to say, if it's up to me, it will be. And I'm going to go out to Africa and make shit happen. No, I don't want to. I want to take my businesses back to America. I want to open up shop back in America, open up my dentist office and all the stuff that I was going to do out here in America. Because I was basically telling everybody what they will experience when they come to the motherland. So for the people who need to study or research, or for the people who looking to find some people abroad that they need to ask questions and talk to about what they need to do when they get here, we basically telling them, and we keeping it raw and unfiltered, uncut. So you have.
Now I'm not sure if this is the same video from the lady. That's what I'm saying. I would like to know her original channel, but because it seemed like it's was she wearing the same outfit in the other clip? No, different outfit. So I don't know if Go Black pieced two videos together or if this was this one original video. I'm not sure, but let's see what you got to say.
Everybody talking about, oh, the motherland is beautiful. It is a beautiful place, but you gotta know reality when you get here. Reality has to set in. So I'm basically telling them, look, when you come here, don't think it's gonna be a parade for you, because it's not. Don't think that it's gonna be snacks and it's gonna be the same thing in America, because it's not. That electricity that you used to being on all day, it's not gonna be none of that. I already knew that electricity gets cut off all the time. I see the Bad Family. I see our Kathy. I see all of them experiencing electrical outages. I already had set forth and looked up some places where when I get here, I can buy solar panels for my house, because I knew the electricity wasn't going to be good. I already knew all this stuff. I was just telling people because it's people out here that don't know. And so you need to know. So I'm telling you, get ready, because it's going to get rough. It's not easy. And yes, I am in Accra, and I knew that Accra was the most expensive place, and I knew it was.
Okay, so it seems like she right now replying to comments. So maybe this is a second video. Maybe this is a second video in which she's making in response to the first video, because it seems like she's replying to the comments. Because people can get very toxic in comment sections. People think they can say whatever they want online with no recourse. They wouldn't say half the things they say in the comments, people's faces. But it seems like she's replying to these comments.
It's the most developed as well. I wanted to be in a developed place, but at the end of the day, don't shit me. I always used to say, get me, don't shit me. Don't have me come all the way out here, and because you see I'm American, which you don't even know that I'm a Ghanaian too, but okay, I'm going to give you that I'm American because of my accent. So don't have me come all the way to Africa and say a house is $400,000, but you tell me it's $700,000 because you feel as though I'm rich.
Wow, yeah, definitely the scams that do occur, and scams that do go on with you because they believe that you are just rich because you're from America.
Everybody I've ever talked to looked at me like I was dollar signs. As soon as they see me, it's money, money, money. I can tell you 15 stories right now since we've been in Africa where people try to overcharge us and overprice us, and I'm on their ass.
Yeah, that's one of the most disgusting practices I've ever witnessed and ever been involved in. Was definitely in Tanzania, where it's just like they don't even see you as human anymore. They have like no care, no concern about you. You're just money. You're just an opportunity. You are just a come up for them, and it makes you feel uneasy because it's like they don't even realize that I'm a human being. You know what I mean? They just see me like you said, dollar signs. And so it's like they can almost do anything to you and not feel remorseful about it because they don't see you as one of them. You know what I mean? They just see you as a privileged individual in which they can get something off of. You know, like I said in our last video, people will just ask you for money, ask you for cell phones, ask you for to buy them things and all kind of stuff like that. You know, go to a restaurant, order food, and expect you're gonna pay for it. Those type of things do occur in sub-Saharan, and you should be aware and alert of such activities.
So for the people who say, "Oh, she's over there getting scammed," I didn't get scammed. Now, one time I told y'all the experiences how they tried to scam me. They tried to scam me, and I was
okay. Yeah, so you definitely reply in the comments. You know what I mean? The comments get real evil.
Deep in their ass. And so for the people who say, "Oh, Africa's not weak, it's not for weak people," let me tell you something. All Africans are weak. I got a fucking African father who's weak as fuck. I know all Africans are weak. They aren't built like us. So I'm all in their ass when they try to take their weak asses and try to use me or try to bribe me or try to get extra money out of me. You gotta wake up pretty early in the morning to pull one on me because I already see the shit coming. Then the other thing, people say, "Oh, she didn't do no research and she hasn't built a network." All I do is build networks. I'm with all the groups that's on Facebook, that's on WhatsApp, all that. I've been there, done that, years, all that. I don't trust people. Because first of all, everybody has an agenda.
Yeah, I mean, about that is that, you know, everybody has a solution to the next person's problem, but they still have problems of their own, you know, and that's the crazy part. Now, like she was saying, you definitely want to build a network with other people, get into the WhatsApp groups, connect to the Facebook groups, but even within there, we have people that reach a point of desperation where they're willing to scam, where they start to adapt the culture of the land. They start to scam, and they start to try to get over on next man's them, even if they are African Americans or they are, you know, UK people or whatever they are, and they are the diaspora. Diaspora scams other diaspora as well. And she's right, and she's accurate in the fact that you do have to be mindful and aware that really very few people will have your best interest at heart. And so that's for me when I come across positive people over in Tanzania, you know what I mean, and you know, develop people that you can that see operate in a spirit of love consistently. Those are people that you want to stay in contact with and continue to communicate with, because there's very few people like that anywhere in the world.
They can act like they're going to be good for you. They're going to show you and teach you the ropes and show you the way. People will come out here from the diaspora and say, "Oh, I'm going to buy me a house and then I'm going to rent it out to all the people that come from the diaspora so they can have somewhere to stay when they get here." I didn't come here to rent. So let's clear that up too, because that was another situation that I came to rent. I didn't come to rent. I don't rent at home, so why would I rent here in Africa? But I want to live better in Africa than I do at home.
Right. You definitely want to live better. That's a big thing too. Buying properties, renting them out, you know. But like the Book of Proverbs says, what does it say? Flattering tongues hide hatred, or something of that nature. But people will disguise their true intentions through flattering speech, through, you know, like charming words, but they really have wicked intentions for you.
Of course. So of course I came out here to buy beach land, to build a house. And while I'm building the house, buy another house to live in while I build my house, because I'm damn if I'm going to be sitting in somebody's living room. If I'm going to have 5 kids. We have 5 children, but we only have 4 of us. Four children with us. And there's 2 of us, so it's 6 of us all right now. And my oldest son, when he come out the military, he will be here too. I'll be damned if we're going to be laying on somebody's couch from the diaspora and talking about I'm going to give you somewhere to stay until you find your room. No. And I did not rent a room for $100. I rent an Airbnb for $100 a night.
Oh, she was in an Airbnb for $100 a night. Wow, it's intense. I really would like to see the original video, the full original video, and react to that one. But, you know, basically, these are some of the things that do occur. Airbnbs typically are better than hotels, in my personal opinion. But again, it's all comes back to the standard of living. What standard are you willing to live in and live by? And if you want to live a super lifestyle that's close to America, which just in my personal opinion, it seems like she does want to live like, it's going to be expensive. Were there probably cheaper Airbnbs that she could have gotten? For sure, there probably some cheaper Airbnbs she could have gotten. But at the same time, if you want to live a particular type of way, and a particular look, and a particular aesthetic, and a particular mannerism, then it's going to cost. You know what I mean? And that's something to be aware of. Make sure that your expectations for the country you're relocating to matches the financial withstandings in which you have.
If you want a nice one, it's going for $100 a night. The Airbnb was nice, but at the same time, it had its issues, and I was just sharing the issues that it had.
Right.
And secondly, as far as me renting a car or whatever, how else am I getting around? Every little car is that small. It's little bugs. All of us, 6 of us, cannot get in little bugs and ride around. So I had to rent a big SUV that can go through these muddy streets, because the streets, as you know, aren't paved. So we have to have a 4-wheel drive that can get through the streets. So me renting a vehicle was $130 a day. I knew that was going to be the case anyway. If you go research too, you'll find out that that's the average of a vehicle. So
Wow. Okay. So she was renting a vehicle. Okay, got you. So that was $130 a day is what she was saying, which I understand that kind of makes sense now. She was renting the actual car, and she had 6 people in her family. You know, if you wanted to do it cheaper, I'm not sure how much Uber and things like that are, but if you just split everybody up, you know, a couple people and one parent with some kids in one car, one parent with some other kids in the next car, that'll probably work. But if you are going from place to place, then that Uber might add up to end up being $130 as well. So you never know. But yeah. Or you just send, you know, only one parent goes out and all that stuff. It depends on how you want to do it, but maybe that just was the most convenient way for them.
Didn't get gaffled nowhere. I just don't like the prices. And you can't, and I know I can't compare Africa to America, but what I can say is I'll be damned if I'm gonna buy a 3-bedroom house for $500,000. I got a fucking 6-bedroom mansion sitting at home for $100,000. It just don't add up, and it's not equivalent to what I'm willing to pay for.
Right.
Everybody got what they're willing to pay for. I'll be a damn fool to come out here and get a house in Africa when I'm looking outside in the dirty slums and seeing goats and dogs and shit running around for $500,000 for a 3 or 4 bedroom house. That makes no sense. But don't look at me that I'm wrong for feeling like that.
I understand what she's saying on this aspect. If she already got a nice house in the States for $100K, it's like, why would I pay more to live in what she believes is less? And I understand that aspect of it, you know, and that's why me personally, for me, Ghana didn't add up. You know, it's just like, yeah, I can live in a million other places and, you know, pay less money, you know, on the continent and stuff like that, pay less money and still be positive and prosperous. You know what I mean? So it doesn't add up. And so, you know, when a lot of people are looking at Ghana, I feel like Ghana is popular and hyped up because of the celebrities that go there, because of the whole year of return. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of Ghana is not meant to be. It shouldn't be that expensive. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't offer that much more than any of these other places. Just me personally, from what I see, and therefore I understand her point exactly. I wouldn't pay more to live in Ghana just because it's Ghana, when I know I can go to this place, that place, and get land and housing for significantly cheaper.
Because everybody got their way of living. We came from the gutter. We both was next door neighbors, grew up on the same block. We came from the gutter, and we managed to pull ourselves up and look at everybody else still sitting there. So we're not going to go to Africa and be fucked up and be gutter too. I ain't asked nobody for nothing. I ain't asked for no handouts. I didn't ask for no parades. I was just sharing my experience. My experience is that Africa needs help. It needs work. We came out here to build Africa. I closed all my businesses down. And of course, I could have stayed in that colonized as United States of America and dealt with their bullshit and kept getting my money. I could have did that. I do taxes. I don't pay taxes. I do them. Okay? So I could have sat there and I could have dealt with that. But no, I decided, no, I'm going to close all shop. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to get me a bus. And I'm going to do free teeth cleaning and spas for people in the village.
Now this goes back to my initial point, which I like this couple and stuff like that. Man's not saying much. I want to know his thoughts on it. But at the same time, I don't believe we should come to Africa to build Africa. You know what I mean? We got to come establish ourselves, our own individual households first. That's the main priority. And then after our own individual households, we establish the diaspora community. And then after the diaspora community, then we help locals. But I feel like when people come in with the intent of I'm going to help locals, it almost never works out. You know what I mean? They don't even actually want help from African Americans. They want help from Caucasian mans, them. They want help from other nations, but not African Americans, not black people. You know what I mean? They feel that black people are not in a superior position to be able to help them. And so they're almost going to make it more difficult and harder for you, and they're going to do more wickedness to you when you try to help the local people. So it's not that I hate locals. It's not that I despise locals, but it's just that I understand that there's an order to things. Things have to be done in a particular order. The sun has to come, the moon has to come, the days have to come. You can't just start changing things around, moving things around, because then that affects the balance of life. You know what I mean? You can't die then live. You can't live then die. You have to there's a particular order in which things have to be done. You know what I mean? There's a particular night comes, then day comes. You can't just switch the order of that. It can't just be, okay, one day is Monday, the next day is Friday. No, it has to be an order to things. And so I believe that the proper order is household, community, then outsiders and locals and stuff like that.
Then I'm going to treat these young girls, I'm going to get their tampons, their baby items and wipes, and I'm going to do a non-profit program. Business is my forte. That's what I do. So I didn't come out here for a job. Mm-hmm. I didn't come out here to rent. I didn't come out here to live on nobody's couch. I didn't come out here to...
And that's big ups too. I also do commend them for that as well. You know what I mean? I think that's a cool story, to pull yourself up out the mud and end up becoming a homeowner in the States. That's definitely a big accomplishment. And then, to have a lifestyle that really is admirable for most people from the trenches. Most people don't know anybody that's owning homes and being positive like that. And then to have a family of she has 5 kids as well. You know what I mean? I think that's also really positive as well. And so I like all that type of stuff. However, to then have all that and to be able and to be willing to leave it, to come to the continent, that says a lot about their character, which I respect. You know what I mean? They weren't just attached to the materialistic items and to materialistic life they had built up in the States. And so definitely want to see them succeed on the continent.
To live with no diasporas or none of that bullshit. If you want to help me, but I'm not asking you to. I'm not begging. And then with the people who did offer to help us, we do know a lot of people in Ghana. I've been knowing people in Ghana. All my life I knew people here. I've been to people Ghana, Nigeria, all over. Mm-hmm. Gambia, Tanzania, I know people all over. But at the same time, I'm independent. That's how I've always been.
Yeah, and I don't believe it. And I think it's going to be hard to be. And this is one thing that I think as well is that the independent mindset doesn't really work over on a continent that much because it's all about who you know. In America, the system is so regulated and the system is so by the books that you don't necessarily always need a next person to help you. So for the most part, and it's most people can't even really bend the law that much in America. You have to be extremely, extremely powerful and extremely, extremely financially affluent to bend the rules. But for the average person, even if you make $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 million a year in America, you can't bend the rules like that. You have to be extremely rich and extremely powerful to really be able to bend things into your favor. And so it's not even about a case of who you know. A lot of times in the States, you can kind of move and maneuver without other people. But on a continent, it's all about who you know. You know what I mean? It's all about who you know, and it's all about who knows you as well. That's super important. And so the independent mindset doesn't really work on a continent. You got to be willing to help others, and you got to be willing to receive help and be able to even ask for the help as well. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things that we don't know. Being foreigners in a foreign country that people who have been here longer do know. You know what I mean? And likewise, there's certain things that you just would never know unless a local tells you. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard for you to know what an accurate price for items are if you've never been to that place and everybody's been charging you this amount. But then you go to the local and the local says, you're supposed to be paying this amount. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. So I think the independent mindset is one thing that can be a hindrance to African Americans when we do come over to the continent.
I've always held my own. God blesses the child that holds his own. I've always held my own. So I'm not going to get out here and change now. So for the people who did come and say, hey, I'm going to help you, I'm going to find that, every last one of them was a failure. because every last one of them was in it for themselves. Watch the company you keep and the crowd you bring, because you got to look at people for what they are. You can have people come out here that lives out here and be like, okay, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you get through. I'm gonna talk for you. I don't need you to talk for me. The only thing that I would need you for is if somebody's trying to take advantage of me, and you can talk to them and say, no, you're not about to take advantage of these people. But other than that, I speak the language. I can talk to them myself. That don't mean they ain't gonna get over on me. They might even use you to get over on me.
Right,
so that's
right.
another thing y'all have to be very careful of. It's people out here that don't have your best interest at heart.
Facts.
They will sit here and they will act like they friends with you, they fuck with you, everything good. Let me help you. I'm gonna help you pave the way. You will get you a house and get there. They setting up a house for themselves the whole time. I'm gonna help you get a car. They making sure they got transportation the whole time. And
this is something that's really true, and I respect them for speaking on such topics. And people like this, I'm pretty sure they are the ones who get labeled negative, toxic, hating Africa, this and this. They get labeled a lot of things, but these people are people who probably have the most love in their heart, because they're honestly trying to give people accurate information that's going to help them. That's not going to give them the yippee-yi-yoo, let's all kumbaya and things like that. No, like, they're trying to give you the real reality that it gets gruesome out here. You know what I mean? It gets wicked out here. You have to be of the right mentality. And if you can't even handle people like this telling you this, then you shouldn't come to the continent. Now, big ups to Go Black for posting this video as well. I respect it. Now, people, this is my personal opinion. Sub-Saharan, you cannot trust a soul, local or diaspora. Mostly I'm talking on a local aspect. Because locals, regardless of how nice they may be, how charming they may be, and I was just talking to my guy Jared on set about this. My guy One Dose Productions. Make sure you check out both of their channels. But I was just talking to both of them about this. It's just that, like, they were always, the local people were always trying to get something out of you, regardless if they were your friend or not. You know what I mean? They put themselves in their pockets first. And so they don't care if they got you the best deal possible. They didn't care if they got you, they told you where this thing was or where that thing was. As long as they were going to benefit from it, then they would help you. If they weren't going to benefit from it, even if it may have been beneficial to you to know the information, they were not going to share it. You know what I mean? They put themselves and their families first. And that's what we as a people must do as well. Put ourselves and our families first. You know what I mean? Screw everybody else. You know what I mean? Screw everybody else. Put your household first. After your household, then put your community. After your community, then you put local people, and that's how it should always be. You know what I mean? That's how it should always be. You know what I mean? You have to move in the best interest of yourself, and it's like you can't help somebody else if you yourself are not strong. I always say to my belief that families are the building blocks of nations, right? And so a weak family means a weak nation. So you have to do your household first. Household, then, you know what I mean, you worry about the next people and such on.
And I need you to invest in me too, making sure they got shit the whole time. And then you'll have, let me introduce you to my friend that works at the DMV that's going to hook you up with a driver's license, and they trying to take money off the top.
Right.
They letting their DMV friends fuck you. I got stories for days. Then you got people that...
Yeah, you got a lot of stories about this type of stuff. Hey, speaking of this, if you guys are interested in relocating to the continent of Africa, you want some just like gems, some game, you guys should definitely pick up my book, The Ultimate African Relocation Guide. I have it linked in the video description. I'm going to answer 100 plus of the most commonly asked questions about relocating to the continent of Africa. Now, maybe this is your first video of mine you ever watched. You're like, who is this guy? Well, it's No Limit Eddie, right? I moved to Africa at 21 years old from Los Angeles, California. I've been in Africa, lived in Tanzania for like 6 months, and I've been in Egypt now for another 12, over 12 actually. And yeah, I mean, I did this. I'm 23 now actually, but I basically been living on the continent of Africa for a while. I kind of have moved country hopped, and now that the borders are getting open, they're removing all the requirements. I might be doing some more traveling quite soon as well. So yes, make sure to subscribe to the channel. But if you guys want to know how I was able to do it and how I managed to learn the game about how to relocate basically anywhere in the world, pick up the copy of the Ultimate African Relocation Guide. Right now we're giving away, of course, a book, but plus $200 in bonuses for a super limited time price. Click on the link that's in the description and pick up your copy.
They said, I'm going to help you get a house. And they have their friend who introduced you to them, they get money off the top. Everybody's getting money off the top.
Affiliate marketing.
Remember that. Everybody. So you can't trust nobody. I don't care where they from, Tom, Dick, or Harry. Don't trust them. Nobody in Ghana. And just like I have to tell people all day, every day, when they come to me with them outrageous ass prices, I said, I seen that shit coming. I knew you wasn't about shit. But let me tell you, I already knew what the fuck you was gonna do. Don't give me no damn American price. Give me a Ghanaian price. Don't give me no American price, because the moment they open their mouth, I know they're gonna fuck with me. I know they're gonna try, but I'm not going for the OVO. I know they're gonna try. And this is another thing I want to say before I pass the torch. In America, how we was raised is that if I don't have enough money to do something, or I do, let's say I don't have my papers that I need to go get my driver's license. You work at the DMV. I'm gonna go to you and I'll be like, man, I need a driver's license. Can you hook me up? The driver's license might be $40. What cuz gonna say? Because the code, the street, when you down with the code, you say, all right, give me the $40 for the driver's license and give me $100 for helping you out, because I'm about to give you your driver's license and you ain't got no paperwork. So without me, you can't do shit. You like, all right, bam, let me throw you $100. Out here, if the nigga trying to get you a driver's license, he know the driver's license costs $30, $40. He gonna tell you it costs $500. That's how much it is. Because the whole time he trying to fuck you, he trying to cut himself in.
Right. It's a level of dishonesty to it. You know what I mean? It's a level of dishonesty to it.
Trying to get his own money, and he would do it without telling you. That's why I'm like, look, just be straight with me.
Right.
Tell me how much it is, and tell me how much you charge me for helping me out. Because I don't mind scratching your back. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's a give and take situation.
Right. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? I never was able to get away with it very much. I don't think I did any bribery in the States, so I don't think that really was really flying like that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. You can do a little bit of finessing. You can do some finessing in the States, but bribery, I don't think I've ever even done that in the States. But with that being said, you know what I mean? She's right. They always try to cut themselves in. There's a high level of dishonesty in there, and the rate in which they overcharge you is significant. But it's like she said, it's only if you go for it will they allow it, because they're trying to see, okay, how rich are these people? They may say a price that they think is just like rich to them. And if you're like, okay, sure, no problem, then like, okay, good, I know I can use that price, and they'll continue to up it and up it and up it. So that's why you got to be careful even letting them try to scam you, because if they scam you and you allow them to scam you, then they're going to scam other people, other Americans again and again and again. You're going to set a precedent for the scams and for the rate of scamming. You know, so you got to be careful. You got to be real strict and real ruthless with the locals and not have pity upon them. You know what I mean? And people, and this is what the Bible talks about as well. You cannot respect a rich man. You know what I mean? In a day of judgment, he's not going to respect the rich man, and he's not going to pity the poor. You have to treat everybody the same regardless of their financial situation. If a rich person try to scam you, would you allow that? Or because they're poor, you're going to allow them to scam you? No. You can't allow anybody to scam you. You got what's right is right, regardless of their financial status, and you got to be aware of that. You know what I mean? Treat everybody the same, and treat everybody equal. You know?
We could do this all day. That's the type of person I am. Matter of fact, even if you said the joint costs $40, I give you the $40 and I'll throw you something on top without you even asking, just because you fuck with me.
Right.
That's the type of person I am. Ghanaians don't think like that. They think like, it's a dog-eat-dog world. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take whatever I can from her.
Whatever I can get.
That's what I'm not fucking with in Africa. That's what I'm not fucking with here in Ghana.
That's the spirit.
What I'm not fucking with in Accra, since y'all want me to be so specific.
Gangly. That's something they talk to you about, this type of, you know, hate. You know, it's like it's a spirit of just like, it's a real spirit of, man, I'm going to bleed you dry. You know, that's how I feel. Everybody got their hand out for money. You know, and that's why you got to be real cautious and you got to be real militant when you're down that way.
I'm in Accra. These people that I met here,
But again, her experience mirrors my experience in Tanzania, and people need to understand. This is why I don't say specific. Microcosms. If you don't know that word, research it, look it up, understand what it means. Africa is, every city you go to in Africa is a microcosm of Africa itself. With the experiences that she's experiencing in in Ghana, Accra, are the same experiences you're going to experience in Dar, Es Salaam, Tanzania. So you're going to experience the same thing in Nairobi, Kenya. It's microcosms.
I haven't been nowhere else in Ghana but Accra, Prime, East Legon, that little area, and Tema, yeah, The people I've met has been cutthroat. They've been grimy. Rivalry is at an all-time high. They have fucked with me from the point when I left the damn airport. And like I said, people, they don't like my thoroughness. They don't like me cussing. I don't give a fuck. because I'm being as real and as honest as possible.
Not to mention you're a grown ass woman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you when to continue to say something.
Exactly.
We had to check a nigga on that shit today.
Exactly. So people don't like how I talk. I just keep it straight 100, no chasing. I don't have time to sit here and pity party y'all and rub y'all backs and shit. Half of y'all gonna like me and half of y'all won't. I can't please all y'all. I can please some of the people sometimes, not all the people all the time, and I don't plan to. So if you don't like it, you can move the fuck on. It's gonna be somebody else that likes me. So at the end of the day,
I like that mentality right there. I like that mentality right there. Don't try to be pleasing the next man and such. You gotta just be real. You know what I mean? You gotta just be real. I think they said the first martyr of the Bible, I think it was Stephen, I believe. He said, like, what prophet have you not killed? You know what I mean? Like, when you speak the truth, when you speak honesty and reality, people gonna hate you, man. It just is what it is. You gotta respect it. You know, I don't use, curse words and things like that per se, or profanity. I'll say it like that. I don't use profanity on my channel personally, but they still don't like me. So if I did use profanity, then they'll use that as a reason. But it's just an excuse to not like you. They just basically don't like what people are saying, and they'll find a reason to not like what they're saying. So that's just kind of how it is. You know what I mean? It's just, for profanity just gives them a tangible thing to attack, but they're gonna hate you regardless. And she is somebody who understands that.
I'm not about to sugarcoat shit. I'm not Willy Wonka. So you gonna get it just how I give it to you. I did cuss the police out and the military out because you're not gonna fuck with me. You're not gonna fuck me over. You're not gonna have me come all the way the hell out here.
Hey, like today's video, share it with a friend. And we're trying to speak some positivity and prosperity amongst the people. We want people to come to Africa and enjoy themselves. We want people to come to Africa and have a good time. The only way you can do such a thing is if you're properly prepared, mind, body, and spirit. And when it comes to the body, you know what I mean, you have to actually, like, a lot of times you go through a cleansing process when you get here, but also the body is everything fleshly, right? Everything earthly. And so a portion of that, you also have to have the proper finances. Now, if we want to talk about finances, how the heck, Eddie, do you afford to live out in Africa? How the heck did you afford to move out of America at 21? I'm 30 years old. I can't figure this out. It's very simple. I'm going to be doing one-on-one coaching with 10 people. And hopefully it's going to be ready soon, but I'm going to be doing one-on-one coaching with 10 people, helping them to create a profitable course business in the next 6 weeks. If you want to be a part of that, you should definitely sign up for the waitlist that is in the description of today's video. Sign up for the waitlist right now. It is not a first come first serve basis. I already have over 400 people lined up and ready for that program, but only 10 people will be able to get inside. Now, the reason why it's not a first come first serve is because of two main reasons. Number one, I'm going to be working with people one-on-one. And so I don't want to just I don't want people to just be able to buy it and I got to work with somebody I don't like. You know what I mean? If I see that they're like, kind of iffy, kind of annoying, kind of just, just weird, I don't want to work with them. So, I'm in a position in life where I can and I do turn down a lot of money. So regardless, I don't just want people's money. I want to work with people that I feel that I personally enjoy being around and talking to. But also, number two, I only want to work with people who I believe I can truly help. So if you have an idea that I believe that doesn't align with my morals, doesn't align with my, beliefs upon life, then it's going to be very difficult for me to work with you, right? If you're going to sell a course about how to do OnlyFans, I probably don't want to work with you on that, right? So we have to, there's going to be like an interview process, a kind of application process. And so it's not first come first served, but I want you guys to have a chance to at least partake in it. And so for that being said, click the link in the description, sign up for the wait list. I'm going to teach you guys how to create a profitable course business in the next 6 weeks. All right. Yeah.
To build your dirty ass country up, for you to sit here and tell me, oh, in order for you to get out the airport, you're gonna have to pay us $1,800. In order for you to get out the airport, you're gonna have to put $200 extra. In order for you to get out the airport, I'm gonna tell your husband if he tested positive for coronavirus, so you can pay me some extra money. Fuck no. I seen that shit coming a mile away, and I checked that shit at the door. So all these Ghanaians that's coming into me talking, oh, it's $200-$300. I already knew you was gonna say that shit.
Right.
But I'm very in tune. I'm very in tune with the universe. I'm very in tune with my ancestors. I heard the calling and I came. I talk to my ancestors every day. That don't mean I don't go through shit. Ain't no angels, ain't no flying butterflies and rainbows around here. We all go through shit. At the end of the day, I don't like the circumstances that we're in. It's not that I can't help it. I have money. I can go wherever the fuck I want to go. And it wasn't that I was complaining about the fact that I was paying $100 a month, a day. I was complaining because it doesn't make no sense that the prices are so outrageous out here when you live in conditions like this. So let's be honest and let's keep it real. Nobody wants to live like this. They
Right,
shouldn't
right.
be living like this. I want to take half of Africa back to America because you can see how real living is. Because this shit is pathetic.
And that's what Marcus Africa was talking about in that one interview, man. Like having this dignity, you know what I mean? Having dignity, and that's some real talk right there. You know what I mean? You definitely shouldn't be paying $100 a day, and the electricity is cutting out on you. That's kind of wild and ridiculous. You shouldn't be paying $100 a day and you have a broken refrigerator. You shouldn't be paying $100 a day, you know, for just to live in substandard conditions. You know what I mean? That definitely should not be the case at all.
At the end of the day, for everybody who say I was complaining, I wasn't complaining. I was telling it just like it is.
And that whole complaining thing is just another straw man. It's another straw man. They just don't like the truth that you're speaking. And so what can they say bad about you? Oh, you're complaining. You know what I mean? And that's kind of one of the things that they do. It's a straw man attack. Oh, you're cursing. I hate you for that. You're complaining. I hate you for that. You're doing this. I hate you for that. It's just they really just hate the person, but they try to find things to pick at and to point at and to attack you on. You know, that's how it is.
That's exactly what I was doing. You know, you got the torch.
You good?
Yes, I'm good.
Alright, so it's a couple of topics I want to handle. First off is, like she said, ain't nobody fucking complaining. And even if we was complaining, that's our freedom of speech. We do what the fuck we want to do. If you don't like what we gotta say, then keep scrolling. I've seen a lot of people on old girl page. I'm not even gonna put her name out there because, like I said, that's female business. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But I've seen a lot of people on her page talking about something. Oh yeah, I had to click off and this, that, and the third. All right, well, click off and go live your life. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how many people, and it's crazy how many black people, all you fake ass, wanna be hotep, woke ass, dashiki wearing motherfuckers, come on the page and say, don't say nothing bad about Africa, don't say nothing bad about the motherland, or don't say nothing about that. That's like me going to Chicago and fucking dismissing all the niggas that's getting shot and saying, oh yeah, these little young niggas around here shooting people, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's cool, they doing what they supposed to do, they doing what they know how to do. Nah, that shit is unacceptable.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck it is. And as long as you keep thinking it.
And that's what I'm saying. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. There's no respect for the rich man and no pity for the poor man. What it is what it is. You know, you cannot justify scamming. You cannot justify lying. You cannot justify fraud. You cannot justify these type of things that are occurring just because they're in a position of need. That's toxic. You know what I mean? That's not positive at all. That's not prosperous at all. That's not going to grow the community. Africa is poor because in this world, our minds are literal like remote controls, right? We can control our life with our minds. And so it's because the minds of people on the continent of Africa that are doing the scamming, that are doing the lying, doing the cheating and all this type of stuff are impoverished. That is why Africa in its reality is impoverished. We have to change the mindsets of people. We cannot continue to justify what is not right. You know, and just on a note about the people who do hate, the haters and stuff like that, you know, you have to. I watched a video from a guy. I don't know if I can't even say his name because they're blocking everybody who says his name, but there was a video that I watched, and he was saying that basically when people are thinking about you, whether it's good or bad, they're burning calories in thought of you, right? That's energy that belongs to you now. And so this is all, as you notice, that when hate goes up, I always said this, when people are hating me a lot online, I'm usually making more money. And so essentially when people are dedicating thought to you, when people are dedicating energy, calories, and they're spending it into your name, you know what I mean? That's power that you can harness, you know what I mean? And so I've learned now from that perspective of why, you know, when people are hating me, I seem to be doing even better and better in life. Now, with that being said, people do like to hate, man, but I acknowledge it. I appreciate the hate.
That it is acceptable, or you keep ignoring the fact of the matter that it's happening, then it's gonna continue to happen.
Right.
That's why black people ain't getting nowhere now, because y'all niggas so fucking soft that y'all don't want to be able to tell y'all own people, man, y'all niggas fucking up. Y'all got to step y'all game up. That's the problem. So y'all motherfuckers walking around here with the goddamn with the shit on y'all head and the fucking dashiki African red robe talking about something. Man, y'all keep talking bad about Africa and all that other shit. But ain't nobody saying nothing bad about Africa. We telling you what we see. We telling you what we are in Accra, Ghana. We are telling you what we have experienced in the first week that we have been here. First of all, I've been in the military. I've been overseas numerous times. I've been to Afghanistan. I've been to Iraq. I've been to Somalia. I've been to Lithuania. I've been to Dubai. I've been to Saudi Arabia. I've been to a whole bunch of foreign lands. I've been to a lot of third world countries when I was in the military. The thing is, even when you're in the military and you have everything at your disposal, when you first hit town and you go out here, it's going to be a culture shock. I don't give a fuck what you think that you're ready for. I don't care how you say that you're prepared and that you're willing to deal with anything. You may be willing to do with everything, but at the same time, you still have to have time to adapt to what's going on. That's just human nature. You can't just jump in a cold ass water and don't feel nothing. You're going to have to jump in that cold ass water, get that chill off, and then you'll get used to the water. That's how it works. So when we come here and we tell you the experiences that we're seeing, because we're just starting off, and we get all this bash from these fake ass woke people.
Yeah. Okay. So this is this is when they were barely getting there and things like that. So that's cool. And speaking of that, a lot of people who talk about don't say bad things about Africa, they either are never have been to Africa, first thing first, or they are local Africans themselves who only have the experience of living in Africa. And so because of that, they're invalid. I've seen both sides. I've seen the Western world, the so-called developed world. You know, I live in Los Angeles, the capital of that, right? New York and LA, those are the capitals of the Western world. London as well. I've seen that aspect of it. I've seen the African aspect of it, and therefore I can have a valid, you know what I mean, look at both sides and say, okay, these are some things that are not right. These are some things that are not right. These are things that are good. These are things that are good on both sides of the coin. You know what I mean? And so most of the time, when people are talking nonsense in the comments, it's almost always out of ignorance. You know what I mean? Either they never have been to Africa. If they have been to Africa, it's because they're born and raised there a lot of times. You know, it's very rare that you see somebody who's a level-headed individual who's seen both sides of the coin, who's willing to be transparent and honest, can disagree with a lot of the points that are just the truth.
Because they don't want to hear nothing bad about Africa. Y'all some bullshit. And half of y'all motherfuckers ain't never even left y'all city. Half of y'all sitting.
See, like I said, I didn't even watch this video, but he spoke on it just as I expected.
Out here in the inner city, where motherfuckers getting shot and stabbed every day, walking around acting like ain't nothing happening, they want to tell somebody not to talk bad about a country that you ain't never even visited.
Gangly.
Go get your money right, and then come out here and then put your shit on YouTube.
Yeah. Put in the work, you know. That's just really how it is. You know, people don't even have people talk this type of talk in the comment section, but ain't even been to Africa. They only seen what they seen via YouTube videos. What so and so told them, and will try to tell you how to live your life in the next country.
A lot of y'all motherfuckers coming out here, or not even out here by yourself, because y'all ain't even invested enough money to come out here and do something like this. We've been saving up money, and we've been planning on this for years now. We've been doing research and everything. We got 4 kids with us and 2 adults. None of this shit is cheap.
Yeah.
None of this shit is cheap. So everybody want to sit right here from the comfortability of their American home talking about something. Don't be talking bad about Africa. You can't even afford to fucking leave your goddamn state. Stay the fuck off our YouTube page. That's the.
They too street. They too street for YouTube.
Because we over here, we doing what we got to do. We invested our money. We paid our costs. So now we over here and we telling you exactly what we see.
Yeah.
We're not saying that that's the whole Accra. We're not saying that's the whole Ghana. We're not saying that's the whole Africa. We're not saying that that's everybody. We are telling you the experience that we saw. Just the other day, I went into the store to go get a plug, and I put this in one of my other videos. I read the plug because I'm always reading everything because I know the mentality of people. It's not Ghana, it's not Accra, it's not Africa, it's people in general. Anytime that anybody can get an advantage over you, especially when it comes to money, they're going to attempt to do it. So I know that. So don't, for any didn't think that I'm saying, oh, it's specifically Africans or specifically Ghanaians.
Alright, then that's the end of the video, man. Big ups to this video. This probably, I don't know, man. This is video wild, man. But these people are too street for YouTube. Hey, if you guys know their channel, let me know, man. I need to see their channel. I need to watch their videos, man. Because this is beyond funny. This is beyond truthful. This is beyond accurate, you know. I respect everything they're saying. I respect everything they're talking about. I hope that more people can listen to them, more people can respect them, more people can understand what they're saying, because a lot of people are taking L's out here because they're not listening to people like this. They don't listen to the kumbaya type of people, which is a time for kumbaya. But like Yahweh Shai said, there's a time for the house of mourning, there's a time for the house of feasting. You gotta understand both aspects. You can't just be in the house of feasting all day, all night. You gotta go ahead and go to the house of mourning from time to time, and you got to get solemn and get somber, you know, and things of that nature. So I want to see all y'all win. I want to see y'all prosper. I want to see y'all get to the motherland, because the life over here is significantly better than it is in America. just being plain honest, it is significantly better than it is over on the continent, over in America. When you find the right spot for you, you know, I was able to find the right spot with the city that I'm in, the country that I'm in currently. But at the same time, there's, you know, you got to find a spot that's right for you. With that being said, pick up the copy of the Ultimate African Relocation Guide, linked in the description of today's video. Sign up for the waitlist for the Thoughts into Thousands Academy. I'm going to teach you how to transform your thoughts into a profitable online course business in the next 6 weeks, even if you have no idea what you're doing. With that being said, see you guys in the next one. Y'all willing. Peace.